Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, August 20. I literally just looked and I've forgotten the number. It's the 26th. I wanted to say the 25th, the 29th. It is clearly neither of those. It is the 26th. And it's not even going to be the 26th when you watch this, so it really doesn't matter, ultimately, in the end. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do the absolute most. Today we are joined by my cat, Birdie, who, if you're new to the podcast, he is my orange cat who I love dearly and I've had for most of my life. He has decided to be sleeping underneath my keyboard, which is just out of shot. So he's here. He's probably not going to be making an appearance, but he is here with me. I also realized I just forgot my rings. That's just a thing. But yes, if you would like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there, or all of them, or none of them, or whatever you would like to do. In addition to that, there's also show notes for the episode and just the podcast in general. I try to make sure I remember everything that I talk about. It doesn't always happen, and I apologize. So if you see anything missing, or if you just want extra information, please do not hesitate to send me a message anywhere, and I will try and get that information to you. I work at a yarn store. It's called The Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas. I will include all the social media information, the website information, so if you want to come hang out with us in person, we would love to have you if you are nearby or if you're visiting, or if you cannot come and visit us, if you are far away, then there is an online store that you can check out. So all that is good stuff. Well, what are we talking about this week, everybody? I feel like there's a lot, but there's also not a lot, so we'll see how this episode goes. Let's get straight into the episode, shall we? If you would like to grab something tasty to drink, I'm sporting a Nuke's cup, and if you've been to Nuke's, you know that they have very good sandwiches. But it's also Merry Christmas 2016 cup, so we're gonna pretend that it's kind of fall holiday season. Even though we do have a heat and index thing of around 112 today, so that's fun. So we're going to pretend that it's cold outside and that it's actually the fall. That has nothing to do with what you are going to grab to drink, to snack upon, to work upon, craft, all that jazz, an animal to snuggle, or laundry to fold, or all of the above. And you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. Okie dokie. Feeling very fresh and clean. I have freshly washed hair, and that's always a nice thing on a Monday, you know. But then again, clean hair is always a nice thing, so. Things you didn't really need to know. Fun fact, I'm wearing my old romance cardigan by Joji Locatelli that I knit 2 years ago. I finished it when we were still living in Dallas, and I have been wearing the life out of this thing this year for some reason. I don't know why, and probably the end of last year as well. Like, I don't know, I just really love it. I think another thing that has caused me to wear it is when I was working on it, I was knitting a smaller size than what I needed, and so I was like, well, this is just not fun to wear, so I didn't wear it. And then it fits, now it fits, because I've been working out, and you know, that's fun. So I have been wearing this nonstop. If you come to the Modern Skein at all, you probably have seen me wearing this. It's probably like one of my most favorite things. I would totally make another one. I've seen many that are like one color, so the lace portion is also the same color as the body. It's super fun construction. I used Madeline Tosh for both my colors. I believe I actually got the yarn for Christmas before I cast it on, obviously. Or my birthday, or it was some event that I got the yarn for. But anyway, I love it. It's definitely a more advanced sweater pattern. So if you're looking for an adventure, it is the perfect sweater adventure for you to have. In sweater news, we have lots of sweaters to talk about, everybody, today. Not my own. We are going to talk about my own sweaters, but also fun news. So the Modern Skein is having a sweater knit along from September 1st to the end of November. And the only requirements is that it is an adult sweater, I believe, and that you wait to cast on until September 1st. So when you watch this, it'll still be on Sunday, which I believe is September 1st. I could be wrong because I was wrong last week about the date. But and that also you use at least one skein of yarn that you've purchased from the store. So if you are far away and you cannot access the store in person, of course you can buy stuff online if you want to do that. I have a text message. Hello. So, I believe there will be more information about that on the store's social media, website, blog, all that jazz, coming up because, of course, September 1st is just right around the corner and it'll be Thanksgiving before we know it. So, it's time to knit sweaters. In addition to that, I will also be teaching a 3-part sweater class at the store. There's going to be class 1 once a month. September something, October something, and November something. Clearly I'm very good at remembering dates, but you get the idea. All that stuff will be on the website as well. But we will be knitting a cardigan, which is super exciting. It uses DK weight. If you are in the area and you have never knit a sweater, please come take the class. There are spaces still available. And yeah, I will hold your hand as we knit your first sweater together, and it will be wonderful. I have taught several people to knit sweaters. This is going to be my second time doing this sweater series thing. Last time we did the pullover by Hoagie Locatelli, the basic raglan pullover that I ended up steeking, but the ladies who took that class very successfully knit all their sweaters and it was very wonderful. So I have full confidence that all these other ladies that have signed up for this upcoming cardigan class, and if that also includes you, I have full confidence that you can do it, because sweaters are easy, everybody. Although you don't have to knit sweaters to be a real knitter. You knit what you want and you're a knitter. But do not be overwhelmed, because as in socks and I would say shawls and sometimes even hats, it's just like a big combination of a lot of little things that you probably already know how to do. And so don't be overwhelmed. Sweaters are very easy. Not all sweaters are easy, but some of them are easy. There's a good portion of them that are easy. So yes. Check out the website for more information if you want to come and take that class, or if you are just interesting. If you're interesting, I'm sure you're interesting. If you're interested in finding out more information about the shop or the sweater knit along, because yay! And I believe there's a prize. I'm not sure what the prize is, but there is a prize. And if you finish and you get entered, then you get entered to possibly win the prize. Can't go wrong. Anyway, so we've talked enough about sweaters that are not my own, and I have a lot of sweaters to talk about to show you, and also an update on my languishing whips, projects on the needles, sweater situation. We're gonna have some fun today, everybody, so let's take a little drink break or whatever you are enjoying. Fold some socks, maybe. Pet your animal if you have one. And let's talk about some sweaters. So, everybody, where do we want to start? I do have a finished object, everybody. I do indeed. And it's at the bottom of my bag, as usually that always happens. So, I finished my Stash Buster pullover, everybody. I've tried it on. I also performed sweater surgery. And it was successful. It was great. It's It's quite an adventure for sure. Here's my stash poster pullover. Ta-da! It's done. It is done. This is a test knit for Beatrice of Thread and Ladle. This pattern I think will be coming out this week, I believe. But I don't know that for certain. I think that is what I have heard. But anyway, it's coming out soon. I do know that. This is a cropped sweater, color work, yoked, all that jazz. The original, you are supposed to, or the one that she did anyway, you use the main color all the way down to the bottom and you have a chevron at the bottom. But I was afraid that I was going to run out of my main color. Because at that point, I still had the other sleeve to do and was not sure. So that was fun. So if you have stash, like, this is really truly, you can piece this together with the pattern and make literally whatever you want, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. It's kind of like a recipe, but with more details and information of an actual pattern. So I am very excited. I think this will look very cute with overalls. So indeed, this is done. This is sweater, oh, I don't remember, 16, 17, 16, I think. Yes, indeed it is. Because I have 2 more that are on my needles that are test knits that will be done. So that will put me up to 18. And we're going to have, now, what else do I need to say about this? This is all stash, various forms of knit picks, mostly knit picks, some Madeline Tosh thrown in there, Moondrip Swancho in here, lots of bits and pieces from goodness knows where and more recent things. So very excited about this. So what was I saying? Oh yes, the test knits that I have will put me up to 18. And so last week, the big question, the really big question, which I did get some answers that were very sweet, and is this, once I get to 19, should I just stop knitting sweaters, or once I get to 19, should I continue on if I feel like it? And I believe that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue on if I feel like it, because I knit what makes me happy, and if sweaters make me happy, that's what I'm gonna do. So there was also a statement that I said last week that was along the lines of, I will not be test knitting any more sweaters this year. I'm done. Guess who has a new sweater test knit coming up, everybody? I'm so excited about this one. Is it the last one? I don't know. Am I willing to make that promise? No. So I won't. But as I was like finding out the information for this test knit, and I was like really hyping myself up to do it, I was thinking, oh, didn't I say last week that I was done test knitting sweaters? Yeah, who cares? I make my own rules here. I knit what I want. So, this is a Christmas yoke sweater by Megan of Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. And she has her yarn, Bad Wolf Girl Studios, and it is, oh my goodness, it is so cute. So I saw this picture on Instagram and I was like, oh, I do love a good Christmas sweater, and I don't have very many of them. In fact, I think I have one that's more of a sweatshirt that has very random Christmas items. It is debatably not Christmas, but it looks kind of like Christmas. And then one that is very old from Target that probably needs to be gotten rid of, excuse me. And so I was like, you know what? I think it's time to knit myself a Christmas sweater. And I think this, so this is originally a pullover, but what I want to do is I'm going to steek it. So I'm going to plan a steek, whether or not I actually do the little in-between thing, for the reinforcements or whatever, I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. But this is the Santa's Workshop sweater, again by Megan. This is her picture on Instagram. Is this just not so cute? She is so talented with like pulling together all these charts and stuff. Here's another picture. She has her like her Halloween sweaters and her Harry Potter sweaters, and these are some of them. Like, she is incredible. So I am so excited to be doing this Christmas one. Like, I can't even express to you, because a Christmas cardigan, can we even? People. What if I found like little candy cane buttons? Or like little holly berries. Oh my goodness. Get this. This might become obnoxious after a while. But what if I found little jingle bell buttons? What? I think my mind has been blown, everybody. I think we have a brilliant idea here. Anyway, so this is very exciting. If you can't tell, I'm incredibly excited about this. I do not have the pattern yet. I will be ordering yarn, or some yarn, because I'll be trying to figure out stash-wise what I can use. But that would require getting the pattern, which we don't have yet. Which that's okay, because I have 2 other test knits that really need to be worked on. So, that will put me up to 19. And anything after that, so we're for sure getting the 19 done this year. I didn't think there was a question of not getting it done, but now everything has deadlines. I have September 17th, I have September 30th, and I have November 1st. So, 19 sweaters is getting done. For sure. Guaranteed. I keep getting emails, and I apologize that I didn't turn it off. So, anything after that, again, I'm not going to make the promise that I won't be test knitting any more sweaters this year. I really just don't know. I really need to focus on the ones that I have and want to make, because I actually did bring the other 3, just 3 sweaters that are on my needles. Can we take a moment and appreciate that I only have 3 other sweaters on the needles? So a total of 5 sweaters on my needles. Has this ever happened? Maybe when I was a beginning baby knitter. But this has not been the case for a very long time. So what I could do is, I don't know. I'm just getting ahead of myself. Let me show you my current test knits for you and tell you about them. Words are just falling out of my mouth today in no particular order, and it's coming out in a jumbled mess, and I do apologize. Okay, so here we go. This doesn't look like much. This is a sweater. This is the, there's a lot of ends going on right now. This is the Cat Bells sweater by Megan of Pippin Pin, and this is kind of like, this is the neck hole, so we're gonna demonstrate here. Ta-da! Very cute. Drop shoulder, kind of like a sweatshirty type look. I am very excited about this. Last time when I recorded, I had not cast it on yet because I'd literally just got the okay to test knit it. But I think I've made a good amount of progress for a week. So, yes. I am working on the top, obviously, because this is the neck hole, and then I will be connecting everything and working on the body. It's going fairly quickly. This is my very old stash. This is Knit Picks Will of the Andes in the Aurora Heather colorway. I wanted something very autumnal and fall-y, and this suited the purpose. I think that's correct. This is the color that I wanted. So it works out perfectly. And I do not have any sweaters that are this color, so this is very wonderful. This year, so last week I mentioned that Sam has been very kindly going along with me, kind of like decluttering, reorganizing, going through stuff to give away, all that jazz. And I had a lot of like really old sweaters from like Target and Old Navy that had lived a good life, and it was time for them to say goodbye to them. But in my mind it was like, oh, okay, so now I'm kind of refreshing my sweater collection that's more everyday sweaters, so like this one, and being more mindful of the sweaters that I knit in regards to that they are more like actual staples. So test knits this year that have been wonderful like that. Like the Mycroft has been really great. The Jensen pullover is really good like that, or for that. The basic raglan pullover that I steeked is going to be really good for that. The sweater class that I'm getting ready to teach will be really amazing for that. I'm making that in a navy. I'm so excited. So yeah, just being more mindful of like how regularly can I wear the things that I knit, and will they become staples and things that I would grab like instead of, or grab as I'm like going out the door instead of like grabbing an Old Navy sweater or something like that. And I know this is not a groundbreaking idea. I know a lot of people are doing this, but it's like I'm going to be a little bit more mindful. I'm going to try and work towards that because I would really like to be able to do that. And granted, that's not everything. That's not super feasible for me right now, but I can take care of the sweaters and knitwear items. So that's my goal. I apologize for my bangs. They're all over the place. That's what happens when they've been freshly washed and it's just puffy everywhere. So that's the Cat Bells pullover. That's plugging along very nicely. The second one I have not worked on as much just because I needed to finish the Stash Buster one, and then also the Cat Bells deadline is very quick, which I understand why. That's the September 17th one. I'm not worried about it, but it's still like I really need to focus. So this is the Stardust pullover by Tristan of Dragon Horde Designs. I don't remember how much I had done when I showed this to you last time, but this is what I have done so far, and I'm very excited about it. So it's looking great. Not a whole lot to show you. I am using Malabrigo. I looked up what the base was, and now I can't remember it. That was helpful. But I do remember that this is the Special Webs like anniversary colorway or something like that. So that's, I do remember that. That's good. So yes, I am very excited about how this is turning out. It's basic pullover, stuff on the front, bobbles, lace, and cables. Very well written. Tristan is wonderful to test for. So excited about this. Hopefully to continue to make progress on both of them moving forward, but mainly the Cat Bells because that's very looming. Not looming, but it's getting close. So definitely gotta work on that for sure. Okay, so I have discussed my current test knits, the Christmas one that's going to be happening. Someone's replying to my text message, so the little bubble is moving, but we will not be distracted by that. Okay, so anyway, in preparation for this episode, I wrote down show notes. Very detailed show notes, as much detail as you can get on a sticky note. Clearly very prepared over here. And literally all I did was just write down my projects. Anyway, so what am I trying to say here? We're gonna discuss kind of where I am in regards to projects on my needles. We've already discussed the sweater, so we're gonna take that one back. We're also going to discuss my languishing whips. And yes. So, everybody, according to this, which I curated thanks to my handy dandy Ravelry page, which I have been doing a pretty good job of keeping updated, minus pictures. That is something that I'm going to be doing this week. Also, I have a fun little story time that I will tell you guys later. But first, let's talk about this. So, currently, on my needles, I have... See, how do I want to explain this? I did not really... See, this is why you write more detailed show notes opposed to just a sticky note, so that way you come into the situation kind of knowing what you want to say, instead of turning on the camera and just letting things spill out. But that would require more preparation, and I did not do that today, so this is what we're going to do. In total, currently on my needles, I have 14 projects. And I know to some people that sounds like a lot. Like, that sounds like quite a lot. But if we look back to the beginning of the year, on my needles that I counted from my Ravelry history, or just the projects that I had finished this year, I have finished 11 languishing whips since January. So if we add that, now this is not making sense, but so if we add that, that's 15 plus 11, 26, and everything else in between that has not counted as languishing whips but got added to my needles anyway because I cast them on because I like casting things on. That's a lot. So if I potentially had more than 26 on my needles at a given time this year, except that wouldn't make sense because I had finished languishing whips, but you know what I mean. Hopefully that made sense. Like, 14 is pretty good. 14 is pretty awesome. I have worked very hard to reduce my languishing whips, reduce the things that I'm knitting upon, being more mindful about like using my needles. If the needles are not available, you either finish that thing or you make it work. So also in regards to which of these are languishing whips, out of the 14, 6 of them are languishing whips. Only 6. And like I said, I finished 11 languishing whips already this year. And I don't think I had counted all of them. Because, yeah, I haven't counted all of them. There's definitely more than 11. So, like, to currently have 6 languishing whips out of a total of 14 projects, so that means that 8 of them are not languishing whips. I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back for that one because I feel pretty mighty fine about the work that I've put in this year. Like I said last week, maybe, I don't know if all of the languishing whips are going to get done, but seeing as that there's only 6 of them, maybe that's possible. Like, maybe? What? Like, that just really kind of blows my mind that that is possible to get done. Is that possible? I don't know. We'll see. We won't worry about it. You know what? I feel very good about what I've done so far. I keep waving around the sticky note with all this information. That's not actually very helpful, but it's got numbers on it, so we're going to pretend it's very official. So, fun fact about these 6 languishing whips, all the current languishing whips are shawls or cowls. So we are out of the sweater territory. All languishing sweaters have been finished. Granted, not all of them have been blocked. But now we will get to this little fun side note, which I do have footage of this. So, maybe we'll do some editing magic and have my voice over this footage. I don't know. I've never actually tried that before, so who knows if this will actually work. That's okay. So last night I was working on finishing my Stash Buster pullover and performing sweater surgery, and I looked over at my pile of finished objects, and I looked over at Sam, and he was just, I don't remember what we were watching last night, but he was just sitting there looking at something on his phone, and I was like, would you like to learn how to weave in some ends? Would you mind doing that for me? And he was very sweet and very kind and very readily learned how to do it and was very excited about it, and then woven ends on 2 items. Except one of them still, the underarms still need to be sewn, but I'm gonna do that. But that's still 2 sweaters now that I don't have to weave in ends. Guys, he's so amazing. He's just so amazing. Anyway, so he started doing that, and I felt the need to film him doing this because it felt like a very important thing that I wanted to share with you all. So here is now the footage if you haven't seen it already, and if you already have, then that is that. It's been done. He now knows. Once 2 of the sweaters that he could have woven in ends on, they needed to be blocked. So I needed to do that. Otherwise, I would have had him do some more sweaters. But I'm just very grateful for the 2 that he did, for sure. So that's really awesome. Those sweaters are done. Need to get some pictures, all that jazz. Some sweaters still need buttons from like way back in April. But that's okay. You know, it's a process. We're just working on getting these languishing whips done. And that's all we can really ask for right now. Buttons was not part of the equation. Though maybe it needs to be. So, in regards to sweaters that are currently on my needles, I have my C. Vager, which I still don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I'm going with it, by Kate Davies. I am knitting this out of Knit Picks Tweed. That's not what the name of it is, but it's Tweedy, so Stroll Tweed. Okay. out of Rabbit Heather and I believe Bittersweet Heather. Is it Bittersweet? Oh my goodness, am I going to be right? I haven't worked on this in forever. No, I was not right. Farmhouse, not farm mouse, excuse me. It looks like Bittersweet though. They have another color that looks like Bittersweet. But yes, this is Farmhouse. So it's like a dark brown and like a taupey color. But it's very basic, like striped pullover, drop sleeves, all that jazz. The one thing that I really do not like about this project, oh my goodness, are there stitches falling off? This is not the time for stitches to fall off my needles. Is this, like, I don't mind the jog necessarily while I'm striping, but like, what is all of this? What is this? This should not be happening. And I think because when I was working on it, I needed, this didn't have a project bag, and so I was just letting the balls of yarn like bounce around in my purse, which was not the best idea because it really made them kind of fall apart. Which obviously you're looking at this and you're like, how in the world can this fall apart? And it's like, well, they can actually kind of like unravel, if you will. But so what I did, and I don't know if this is actually going to work, but I feel like it's actually pretty successful. There was a video going around on Instagram, and now I cannot remember who actually posted it, but I feel very bad for not remembering. But whoever it was, I think it was a guy, he had taken a skein that looked like this, and he turned it into a cake. And you're probably like, it looks like you just smushed this thing. So I don't know if I did it successfully, but you just like, you pull on it, and so you kind of make it like a cake would look like if you had wound it on a ball winder. Also, the other answer is to actually take these and wind these on a ball winder, so then it's no problem. But, like, I think that looks pretty good. I mean, if you look at it like that, it looks kind of like a cake of yarn, so. I don't know if this will actually fix any of my problems, because things are still, like, tangled and stuff, but obviously, and I haven't, like, worked on this in a while, because it's literally just, I really should have taken this with me on to the beach, but I didn't. That's okay. But yeah, like, this is just not fun. This is probably why I got so frustrated. I also did change up my needles because I needed them for something else. I don't remember what I'm using them on. That's great. Okay, that's fine. So this is a sweater that needs to be worked on, but there's no heavy deadline for that. Next up, I have my Poppy Looks cardigan by, what is that? Oh, it's a stitch markers, like what? My Poppy Looks cardigan by Andy Satterlund, which I have made pretty good progress on. I have knit the back and one of the fronts, so I'm currently working on the other front. I have an update. My mom is actually, she has finished hers today, and I'm going to show you a picture because it is so beautiful. We are knitting this together. We're both using Quince & Company. I'm using the Belize colorway, and I don't remember the colorways that she's doing, but she actually she added another color and did the cuffs in a different color. But hers is done. Is that not so cute? And now my project, oh no. My project bag just fell out and now it is empty. That's great. Okay. Well, time to pick all this up. And there's stuff that I didn't even know that was in here. Oh, fun times. Okay, so this is my other sweater, or the other sweater that I'm working on. Sweater number 3, that is not a test knit. I need the pen is important. So yes, this one is probably very easily finishable just because it is a cropped sweater. So that's good. And then lastly, I really want to get done because I want to snuggle up in this coming winter, fall. Which, knowing Houston, I still have several months to work on. This is my Oban cardigan, using the Simply Wool worsted from Knit Picks. in the Wilhelmina colorway. Fun times, fun times, fun times. So, I finished the ribbing, obviously, and I've now started the cabling on the body. I think once I, like, if I get in a groove on this, I'll feel better about it. But, yeah, I don't know. I really want to get that done. So, maybe, I don't know. I think this will be my top sweater priority that is not a test knit. Because I really want to get this done. And then maybe I can pick some other sweater that I have the yarn for. Like the Wool and Honey or the local yarn store sweater by Andrea Mowry or my Tecumseh. Oh my goodness. Or a Carbeth. I think there was one more that I have yarn for. Any of those, all of those. I really want to do them all right now. But that is not the case. I cannot do that because I have committed to test knit these other sweaters. And I am so excited to be doing that. Especially the Christmas sweater. Everybody, the Christmas sweater. I'm so excited about it. And the steeking will be exciting. Oh man. I didn't know if that was going to be okay if Megan really wanted the sweater to be a pullover, because I understand that's how she's designing it, and so I asked if I could steek it, and she was very excited about it, and I was like, yes, I can steek it, and it'll be a Christmas cardigan, everybody! Ah! I'm so excited. Anyway, so that's all the sweaters that I have that are currently on my needles. That's crazy. Still, it's just like mind-blowing that I have few enough things that I can show you all of them in a decent amount of time. But it's still a little bit long because I do ramble, and that's just a thing. But, like, very exciting. So yes, I'll be thinking about colors for my Christmas cardigan, thinking about stash. I was just distracted. I just saw like the perfect green up there for something. I have red somewhere. Good red. Good white too. I've got good white. So I think maybe all I might need is like the main body color. That's pretty awesome. Okay, cool. Well, this is not the time to be thinking about this because I'm not obviously not looking at you. I'm looking off into the distance from what you can see, but there's a bookshelf of yarn over there. So, ideas. So yes, Labor Day is coming, and now we can start decorating for the fall. It's very exciting. Fall candles. Bath and Body Works scents. Oh my goodness. It's like the best time of year. So exciting. I just wish it was cooler. Just wish it was cooler. Texas, please give us cooler weather. Please. Okay, anyway, so I talked to you about my test knits. Talked to you about my current sweaters. Talked to you about my project situation and how amazing that is. And shawls, I think let's say, here's an idea. Let's say that I obviously need to prioritize the test knits. Like, that's number one. Number two, I could put down, as from one of my sweaters that's not a test knit, the O-band cardigan for sure. And then I could pick out one of the other cowls, shawl things, languishing whips that need to get done, and work on those. I think that would be good. Yeah. I think that's a fairly decent idea. So, cool beans. Now we figured this out. Thank you for discussing this with me. I really appreciate it. This has been a good conversation. I realize that I haven't had any kind of like books or baking or anything really recently. It's just been busy. It's just been busy. But that's okay, I'm sure. There are times and cycles where there's just not really a whole lot of anything else, and it's just life and work and knitting. And that's just how it happens, and that's totally fine. So I apologize for no book recommendations or anything, but if you're interested in what I'm reading that I don't really talk about on the podcast, please go follow me on Goodreads, and we can be friends. We can have suggestions for each other. I would love that. It would be great. Obviously there's not something for that with baking, but here's a tip. I've gotten into the habit of, like, it's just nice to have baked cookies throughout the week. Like, it's just a nice thing to have, and especially on, like, Friday night or something, or Saturday or Sunday night, to, like, have the refrigerated, uncooked cookie dough ball square things that you can get at the grocery store that, like, you just break them apart and you stick them in the oven. They are a lifesaver. They are truly wonderful. But what you can do is you can make them fancy. And by fancy, I just mean adding extra chocolate chips to the top of them when they come out of the oven, because then you get more chocolate and it's amazing. It really is wonderful. Like, if you plan it out right, you can make those grocery store bought refrigerated cookie dough ball things into very amazing cookies. In particular, the H-E-B, if you have H-E-Bs close to you, they're like double chocolate chip cookie things that you find in the refrigerated section. Near the milk, and with all the crescent rolls and the pop 'em open biscuits and cinnamon rolls and all that kind of stuff. And it's like a dark chocolate cookie with like milk chocolate and white chocolate chips, and then when they come out of the oven I add more on top, and it's just like so good when you don't have time to actually make homemade cookies throughout the week, or whether you do and you just choose not to. In my case, probably. More likely, that's what it is. But it's a nice alternative. I would highly recommend it. That's my baking tip for the week. Figure out how you can take refrigerated or frozen items and turn them into fancy items, so it seems like you actually got it from a fancy place. But in actual fact, you just got it from the frozen section. They could be very surprising, really. They're very good. So, would recommend that, for sure. So, this is all that I have for you guys this week. Lots of knitting discussion, obviously sweater discussion, mine and the stores, cookie discussion, Christmas sweater discussion, holiday discussion, kind of. Oh, Christmas knitting. Oh. That's a thing that really needs to start happening soon. We're not going to worry about it right now. We just need to finish the podcast, and we'll just take one step at a time. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, with that, I appreciate you watching this episode. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I realize that there's a bunch of new subscribers, so thank you so much to wherever you have come from, wherever you have found out about my podcast. I really appreciate every single one of you. I hope you have enjoyed these episodes. I know I can be kind of rambly sometimes, but you know, that is who I am, and I take this I look at filming each episode as if I was like talking to somebody, like if we were like hanging out, which is why I write show notes on a post-it note. I don't plan these things out very well, but then it kind of works out in my favor because that's how I would talk to somebody anyway. So it's all good, all good. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, like I said at the beginning, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. Most active on Instagram. You can follow all of them, none of them. There's also Goodreads, so we can follow me over on there. All the store's information will be on the show notes on the blog. Show notes will be down below if you're on YouTube or on my blog, which I didn't mention at the beginning of the podcast, but now you know. Let's see, what else is there to say? Have you started on your Christmas knitting yet? I really need to become one of those people that just has a basket of gift knitting that they can just give. But see, I have so many other things that I want to knit for myself. I'm a selfish knitter. There's no shame in that. But I am. I just want to knit all things for me because I know what I like. And I don't want to, like, Christmas is the time to give things away. Gifts, yay. But throughout the year I want to knit sweaters for myself, clearly. Like 19 sweaters in 2019. Anyway, so let me know if you've started your Christmas knitting. Do you have any recommendations? Is there a pattern out there that you can make 10 of? Because those are usually the best patterns. Especially if they go quickly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so I hope you've had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful, whether you have already started your Christmas crafting or not, whether you intend to or not. There's nothing wrong with not crafting for Christmas or crafting for Christmas. I have lots of work cut out for me, but I feel pretty good about it, so... Also, the work cut out for me includes taking pictures of these finished items, sewing on buttons, weaving in some of the ends that Sam did not weave in for me on other sweaters, because he did 2 sweaters. Just so kind of him. So kind of him. But when that will get done, I don't know. That is the real question. You know. But yes, I hope that it is cooling down wherever you are. I hope that you live in a place that has a fall weather season thing and it's not super hot. And I realize that it's still August, but it's getting to the point now where it should be cooler, it should be kind of getting cooler. But I hope that you're enjoying your cooler weather, and I will be enjoying the cooler weather vicariously through people on Instagram, because that's just how I'm gonna get my cold weather for right now. But that's okay, because people post beautiful pictures of the cold weather, and that's very nice. Anyway, that was a tangent. Again, if your crafty plans, hope they are successful, all that jazz. Again, thank you for spending time with me. I really appreciate you and your likes, your comments, subscribes, Instagram comments, all that jazz. It means a lot. You are wonderful. So, that is all that I have for you today. I hope that you were successful with your laundry folding if you chose to fold laundry while watching this. I have laundry literally sitting on my living room floor that I need to go fold right after this. So, you might need to finish your folding your laundry so we can finish folding laundry together in spirit. Because good old laundry, it's gotta be folded. It will not fold itself. So yes, I don't know how we're gonna close this one out, but we're ending with talking about laundry. Anyway, hope your knitting is successful this week, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.